A virtual welcome to everyone from El Paso, Texas. We're located in the Chihuahuan Desert of far west Texas, where we receive just 9 inches of rain per year. We're a safe city on the U.S.-Mexico border, separated only by the Rio Grande. We share both river water and cross-boundary aquifers. Here in El Paso, conservation and water reuse are always important. The Franklin Mountain Range, which bisects our city, is beloved for hiking, but requires strategic placement of 4 wastewater treatment plants to serve our urban population of about 700,000 people on all sides of the mountain. So let's head to West El Paso and the Frontera lift station, where David Ornelas, our Wastewater Systems Division Manager, awaits.
The Frontera lift station serves about 150,000 people on the west side of El Paso. It receives approximately 10 million gallons per day of wastewater. It pumps it to the John T. Hickerson wastewater treatment plant, which is located about 3.5 miles. It is pumped through 2 dual force mains to the wastewater treatment plant.
This is the super oxygenation system here at the Frontera lift station. This is what is known as a Speece cone, and it is the only one that we have in the city of El Paso that treats our wastewater at the lift stations. This cone, the wastewater is pumped into the top of the cone, and it is under pressure, and it is discharged at the bottom of the cone, and oxygen is added at the top of the cone, and under pressure, the dissolved oxygen increases to a high level of dissolved oxygen in the wastewater. From here, the water from this cone goes back into our force main, and it is diluted with the rest of the wastewater, and it increases our dissolved oxygen in our line to the point where when it gets to the wastewater treatment plant, it is at about 0.5 dissolved oxygen milligrams per liter. This is the carbon scrubber system for the wastewater lift station, and the air is extracted from the wet well, and it is going through this carbon system, and the carbon removes the odorous compounds, including hydrogen sulfide, and it helps this facility to be a better neighbor by discharging air that's much cleaner and reduces the number of odor complaints that we get. So when we installed our super oxygenation system at this facility, we had to install a larger oxygen system to accommodate the required oxygen for the system. We had to increase our tank size, and we also had to increase our evaporator size. And we feed about 5,000 pounds per day of oxygen into the system, and that oxygen gets injected into the wastewater, and that oxygen creates a dissolved oxygen system or dissolved oxygen level in our wastewater that reaches the plant at about 0.5 parts per million of dissolved oxygen. Okay, we're now at the John T. Hickerson water reclamation facility that serves the west side of El Paso. We were just at the Frontera lift station, which pumps the wastewater to this wastewater treatment plant. The wastewater comes into this plant, and one of the unique facilities of this is that there are no primary clarifiers at this plant. It goes through screening and grit removal, and it comes directly to the aeration basins. This is our 3 aeration basins, and each basin has 3 passes, for a total of 9 passes in this part of the plant. The oxygen levels in the aeration basins are automatically adjusted with our aeration system, with our sensors, our dissolved oxygen sensors, which maintain the oxygen levels at about 2 to 2.5 parts per million. We're at the secondary clarifiers, which are part of the aeration basin and the biological process of the plant. And here on the secondary clarifiers, also we have a rather unique equipment. We have covers on our launderers, which prevents the sunlight from generating a lot of algae, which
the plant operators really appreciate because they don't have to clean the algae off the launder covers. Okay, this plant used to have 3 sand filters, traveling bridge sand filters, that requires a lot of sand filter bed maintenance. We converted this plant over to disc filters. We have 4 Hydrotech disc filters at this facility, and they're capable of treating the entire flow capacity for this plant. Each one of these disc filters is maintenance free except for having to replace panels and do some other maintenance work. But the operators have a lot less maintenance work with these type of filters rather than having to do the traveling bridge sand filters. So this is the last treatment stage at the plant where the wastewater is disinfected. We use UV lights for disinfection. These are Trojan UV light systems, and we have 5 channels that disinfect the wastewater. This is the final part of the wastewater plant where the final effluent goes through a series of cascading waterfalls to add oxygen to the water. And here the water is divided into the final effluent that goes to the Rio Grande, and part of that water goes to our reclaimed water, which is our reclaimed water tank and our booster station. And the water from there goes to our golf course, it goes to our schools, it goes to parks, it goes to apartment complexes, and they use that water for irrigation during the hot summer, especially when the water demand is highest on our potable water system.
Thank you for joining us today on this virtual tour. And a special thank you to the Water Environment Federation and all WEF members for your work to advance water sector innovation. We hope you will visit El Paso on another occasion and see our wonderful facilities.